According to Pro Football Focus, Deshaun Watson was the most clutch quarterback in the fourth quarter and overtime during one-sport games. Deshaun had 8 touchdowns to just a single interception when it mattered most. So, Shannon, do you agree with Deshaun being the QB on the all-clutch team?
I think Deshaun Watson has been unbelievable. And Skip, because we've had such a big picture of watching Deshaun Watson be clutch. We watched him against Alabama twice, once in a loss where he played unbelievable, and once in a victory where he threw a game-winning touchdown with 1 second left on the clock. And he picked up right where he left off early in his career, his rookie year. He did that. He ended up getting hurt, sat out the remaining of the season, and ever since then, we've watched Deshaun Watson be clutch in big moments. But I'm not taking Deshaun Watson. I do not believe Deshaun Watson is more clutch than Patrick Mahomes, boy. And Exhibit A. Well, I got Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. The playoffs last year. 24 down to Deshaun Watson teams. 7 straight touchdowns, Skip Bayless. That's what you saw. He was down again. 10 points to the Houston Texans. And what did we see, Skip? You saw that in the Super Bowl, Skip. He was down 10 in the fourth quarter. 3 straight touchdowns. Skip, he's been unbelievable, and he's showing you different sides because before, he really never scrambled. But then we saw that run. Skip, wasn't that a great run, Skip? I hadn't seen a run like that. Oh, my goodness. When was the last time you saw a quarterback scramble like that? Shugging off defenders, stiff-arming defenders, rolling through, breaking tackles. They couldn't get him down. He would not be denied. He didn't do it all with his arm. He did some of it with his legs, Skip. And so when you look at it, Skip, and in 2018, you remember that final drive, Skip, against the Ravens? He needed a touchdown. Got it. 4th down. Got 4th and 8. Tyreek over the middle, 48 yards. In the touchdown, 4th down. Got it. See, the thing that hurts Pat Mahomes, boy, Skip, is guess what, Skip? He very rarely finds himself in a situation where he needs to be clutch because he's normally clutch throughout the entirety of the game, and he doesn't find himself in those predicaments. But when he does, he's been money. He's the best quarterback in football. He's the best player in football. There's no question about that. And I disagree with this. I think Deshaun Watson is unbelievable, but I do not believe Deshaun Watson is more clutch than Patrick Mahomes.
The best quarterback in football will reemerge in Tampa, Florida. Very quickly,
oh my God.
Pretty quickly, sooner than later, you're going to see a Super Bowl team in Tampa Bay, and you're going to see a 43-year-old quarterback prove to you once again he's still the current and the lasting GOAT in this league. But now back to Jenny's question about what happened just in 2019. Clearly, Deshaun Watson was the clutchest quarterback in 2019. And as you point out, Shannon, he just keeps doing what he did twice at Clemson against St. Nick's defense when he was even more saintly than St. Nick's defense. He threw parties on St. Nick's defense twice in a row in championship games, narrowly lost one, pulled one out with clutch last-second walk-off throw to Mike Renfro. I saw it coming. You saw it coming. And we saw it reach its peak last year when all he did was, to me, save Bill O'Brien's credibility and ultimately his job. Bill O'Brien just keeps making boneheaded GM decisions, and he keeps making boneheaded in-game decisions, and Deshaun Watson just keeps pulling him out of the fire. If you look at these numbers that Pro Football Focus came up with, and I was in awe of these, it's game over. It's not even close. I can't even put the GOAT in this conversation if we're just talking about 2019, because in clutch time, in these one-score games, Deshaun Watson had 214 snaps, which was by far the most any quarterback got thrust into a year ago. And in those clutch time moments, all Deshaun did was go 66 of 88. What? 66 of 88 for 909 and 8 touchdowns and only 1 interception. And they went on a late season run to once again basically steal the AFC South, and it was all Deshaun all the time. These are close games, one-score games. At Indy on that Thursday night, they won 20-17. Then he outdueled Tom Brady, who had no weapons, obviously, but at Houston, big stage game. Well, he just did. You know, it was a QBR of 85 for Deshaun, only 26 for Tom Brady. Remember, he threw one that N'Keal Harry just sort of lost, didn't even try for, and it got picked off, picked sixth. So we had that game, and then he goes to Tennessee, did Deshaun, and beat them 24-21. And then he goes to what is now Tampa Bay. It was then Jameis Bay. And he beat the Buccaneers with a late, long drive that ended in a field goal. They won that game 24-21. And then dare I even bring up the first playoff game that Deshaun played last year? Dare I even raise the issue of the play in overtime? They're down 16-0 at Buffalo. He scratches and claws back into the game. And then, remember, two pass rushers get free, looping from each side. They both meet at the quarterback. Huge collisions. Deshaun sandwiched in the middle. He somehow stays upright. The two pass rushers knock themselves off each other. Deshaun escapes, flips it to his back, who then escapes and winds up going, 34 yards for the first and 10 that they just ran down the clock and then kicked the field goal. It was the playoff play of the year to me, and it saved and won that game.
You know the play of the year, Skip. Stop that. You know the play.
What?
My homeboy.
You talking about
27-yard scramble TD.
Scramble? He ran a 12-flat 40. I could have outrun Patrick Mahomes on that play. He was lumbering like an offensive lineman. My God. There were 7 Tennessee Titans who had shots at him. They either took bad angles or they just quit. They thought it was suddenly flag football, and they were all groping for a flag that wasn't there on the belt to Patrick Mahomes.
He's too fast.
It got clear down. It got clear down to like the 3-yard line, and 2 DBs just spin. They just like do whirly gigs, and they're like groping at air. I've never seen poor angles or poor tackling on any single run in the history of football. And you're going to say that was the play of the year? I guess it was the shockingly awful tackling play of the year. I'll give you that. But your guy who must weigh like 250 now, he's huffing and puffing and lumbering down the sideline.
Skip, stop hating.
They're not tackling me. I'm going to keep huffing and puffing until I get to the end zone. Stop it. That was the play of the year.
Be that as it may, he might be 250, he might be 265. All I know is that they couldn't catch him. And then he put the head fake on the one guy and shot past him and then kept his momentum in bounds because his momentum could have easily taken him out of bounds. But he's like, no, he shifted his center of gravity, dropped that, kept trucking, split 2. They had him sandwiched in, Skip. You know how cars, we see in the movies, and they're coming like, oh, they gonna get it. And he shoots right through the gap. Then one guy tried to tug him down by the ball. He's like, I will not be denied. Can't nothing hold me back. Can't nothing slow me down. And that's what he did. Can't stop, won't stop.
I remind everyone that play came before halftime. It was an avalanche of points on the Titans, and it was over before halftime. Basically, the Houston Texans game was over before halftime because, once again, Bill O'Brien struck again. It's 4th and 1 all the way down at, where was it? They got all the way down to the 13. 4th and 1 at the 13-yard line. Deshaun has them up 21-0. He is badly outplaying my homeboy. And all of a sudden, Bill O'Brien says, I think I'm going to kick the field. You're going to kick the field goal. Why don't you just kick them right in the teeth? Kick them in the stomach. Kick them right where it hurts the most. Kick them, and the game's going to be over. You got a chance to go ahead 28-0. They're not coming back from 28-0.
Oh, yeah, we would have.
And then Bill O'Brien happened, and Bill O'Brien as I said the next day, I'm not 20/20 hindsight, Bill O'Brien cost them the game and the season as usual. I have no idea how Bill O'Brien still has a job in Houston, Texas, but it's all because of his quarterback. That team was Deshaun or bust last year. It's even going to be more Deshaun or bust this year now that DeAndre Hopkins belongs to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's going to be the wild card team. I wouldn't be shocked if Kyler Murray steals that division. They're going to be the surprise team of the year, in part because he now has the clutch receiver that was soulmates with Deshaun Watson. So I'm sorry, the body of work adds up to Deshaun Watson, because we haven't talked about the Super Bowl yet, have we, Mr. Shannon Sharpe? Can you tell our faithful viewers what happened late in the third quarter of the Super Bowl, please? Could you please tell them? Patrick Mahomes, let's see, it was 3rd and 12. He threw a ghastly interception. What are you doing? You're my homeboy. You're an MVP. You throw an interception late in the third quarter of the Super Bowl while you're trailing? Then just a few minutes later, actually, it was the next possession, early in the fourth quarter, it gets to be 3rd and 6. What does my homeboy do? Well, he looks like my homeboy lives in a trailer park, because he throws a 3rd and 6 interception. That's 2 picks in a row in a Super Bowl, late third, early fourth quarter. And you're telling me he's clutch? And then the game comes down to 3rd and 15 at the Kansas City 35 with 7:13 left in the game. Can you tell the viewers what McClutch Boy did? McClutch Boy drops back. He has a pass rusher right in his face. He commits the cardinal sin of basically throwing a blind pass right up into the pass rusher that's looming. Yeah, it was. He didn't even look where he was throwing it. He basically flung a punt, a blind punt into the left flat. It's up for grabs. It's basically a 50-50 ball. And Tyreek sees it, and go look at the tape. Tyreek has to stop his route, and wait a second, he retreats. He starts running back toward the quarterback. I think I saw him wave his hand to fair catch the ball, but I'm not sure about that. And he caught the punt and turns around, and nobody's there, and winds up with a 44-yard gain that basically puts them in position to win the Super Bowl. Are you giving me clutch on those 3 throws, 3 third-down throws that were horrendously bad? They were dangerously bad, all 3. 2 picks, 1 could have been picked. And you're telling me he's the clutchest quarterback in football?
Whoa.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Skip. Okay, how about this here? In Tom Brady's last 3 Super Bowls, he's thrown at least 1 pick. He threw one against Seattle, he threw a pick 6 against Atlanta, and he threw another pick. Am I correct? Am I correct, Skip? No, excuse me. 3 of his last 4, because I don't think he threw one. I don't think he threw one against Philly, but he threw one against the Rams. He threw a pick 6 against Atlanta. He threw a pick against Seattle. They come back and win the game. You said that's clutch, but what you won't tell the people at home, to provide context, because since you like to say Michael Jordan told Steve Kerr he was coming to him, what about Pat Mahomes going to the sideline? NFL Films had it, Mike. Let's run that play to Tyreek. He called his shot. He said, we're going to run that, and I'm going to stand in this pocket. Guy going to come free. I'm not going to be able to step, but I got so much arm strength. I'm going to be able to complete this ball. 3rd and 15. Bullseye. Got it. We in business now. They go on and win the game. Skip Bayless, that is clutch. And the guy that you're talking about that's more clutch than Mahomes, well, you had your chance. What do you think would have happened if Mahomes would have got up on Deshaun 24-0? Do you believe they would have come back on them and scored 7 straight?
I do.
If he'd have got up on...
Yeah.
Mahomes boy scored 7 straight drives. 7. Boom, 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 boom.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.